Howdy do, y'all. I'm getting a little glare. Here we go. I guess we're working. So I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. I've got a Lagunitas Equinox. I've never had this before. A genuine pale oat ale, 8%. Excuse me, 50 IBUs. First brewed 95. Brewed today in a time of change. Do like Lagunitas. I like, oh shoot, got a little something. Got some winds blowing some stuff around and got in my beer, man. It's got a nice color, kind of I don't know, would you say a light amber? Pours very nice, slightly cloudy. Got beautiful aroma. I'm using my White River Belgian glass here. Big malts on the nose. Wow. There's some pleasant citrus to round it all out. Oh yeah, very nice. There's a little bit of sweetness in here. I'm guessing from the oats. I didn't look this up on their website to get the particulars from it. And they got a little paragraph here, but it doesn't seem to tell me a whole lot about the beer itself, so I'm not going to bother reading it. But yeah, it's a pleasant, I'd say, medium-bodied beer, medium malt body, I would say. There is a certain amount of sweetness. Again, I'm going to assume that's coming from the oats. Pale oat ale. It's very pleasant. There's enough hoppage to kind of, to clean up that sweetness. Some pleasant citrus. I'm getting a certain amount of grapefruit and orange zest going on. It's very nice, very likable. One thing Lagunitas does is they price their bombers, fairly well. This runs about $4. Which, by today's craft standards, that's a heck of a deal. Most are pricing, $7 and above. I've had beers that I've spent a whole lot more for that weren't of any higher quality than the Lagunitas counterparts. So, I think you're doing some fine beers out there. I grew up in Southern California. I was born in Lakewood, actually, and grew up in Cypress, if you all are familiar with that part of the state. But I haven't been back since '87, because, I didn't leave anything there to go back for. Yeah, I don't know, most of my family, all of my family, all of my immediate family's gone. I do have some, I guess I still have an aunt out there, but most of my family's gone. I got a handful of childhood friends still left out there. I guess I wouldn't mind going back someday to do a brewery tour, because that's where all the damn breweries are these days. Of course, there are other places, but there's a grunt load in California, all up and down the state, from southern up to northern, from San Diego all the way up, I suppose. If I ever become independently wealthy, which isn't likely, but I'll do a brewery tour starting in San Diego, then going straight up into Oregon and up into Washington. I think that's one thing I love about the craft beer industry, or movement, or whatever you'd want to call it. All across the country, they're just great ones, and sometimes they're in unlikely places. I talk about Pioneer River a lot. I mean, it's in a very, Bucyrus, Missouri, which really isn't a town. It's near a town called Houston, Missouri, which isn't very big either. And somehow, it's probably, as a whole, more of a macro beer drinking area, and somehow they were able to put this craft brewery out in the middle of no place, and it works. They're making great beer, and they're winning a lot of awards, and they're making news across the country. And you've got all these, I guess, it's business, so I suppose breweries are competing with each other, but so many are doing so many different things, I don't really see it as a competition. I think many breweries, most have their specific niche that they're going after. Some are doing, traditional solid styles, while some are doing crazy out-of-the-box stuff, and there's certainly a place amongst craft beer drinkers for all of it, and I personally like all of it. There are times when I want that crazy beer, and there are times I want just a nice solid style. This one is probably somewhere in the middle of that. It's not necessarily super crazy. It's not necessarily traditional either. But what it is, it's a very enjoyable beer. Oh. So, hey, I'm the Beer Whisperer. I rambled on a bit, but thanks for staying with me. This is certainly a buy again for me, and I hope you'll try it once too.